Hey everybody, this is David, and today we are going to be talking about The Flash Season 4, Episode 23, We Are The Flash. This was the season finale. I'm going to talk a little bit about it and my overall thoughts on the season of Season 4. So, yeah, right in the beginning of this episode, it takes place right where the last episode left off, and they're all deciding how to defeat DeVoe. And Iris brings in the mechanic, DeVoe's wife, to bring him down. And everybody's not so cool with it at first until she comes up with a plan to put Barry inside the mind of DeVoe using his chair Borg device. The Borg from Star Trek. Which, funny enough, we got a Star Trek reference in this finale, which made me laugh. I'll get to it. We get a little cool battle inside of DeVoe's mind with Barry and Ralph teaming up to fight an army of DeVoes, which was, I'll admit, was pretty cool. But for the most part, I'm going to say that I'm very happy that this DeVoe storyline is over, because, man, not only was I feel the fight with him pretty underwhelming, this season has been hit and miss for me. There's been some really good episodes. I think the episodes where Barry was going to prison and being framed and all that, I think those were the good episodes. And then after that, it was like, meh, okay, here and there, but some pretty boring ones too. And in the beginning, it was a little annoying because we got Ralph going over the top. I thought he was pretty good here in this episode. It was actually nice seeing Ralph again because I think they found a good balance with him. Although I am kind of hoping he doesn't return next season. We'll see. I didn't like that Cecile was going into labor in this episode during the whole battle. I thought that was a little annoying and a little cliche. It's happened when disaster is happening and someone's going in, one of the main characters are going into labor. I feel like we've seen that a lot, maybe not just on television, in movies as well. But once the baby was born, it was like, it's a little baby. So that was heartwarming, at least, to cheer us all up afterwards. Harry turning dumb. That was dumb. I hated that storyline. The whole resolve of it. And is that the end of Harry Wells? Is he going back to his Earth and never coming back? I hope not. I want to see... I like Tom Cavanagh as this character, and I hope he sticks around. One of the things I really liked as well was Wally West coming at the end of this season. We got two legends on two of the finales this week and last week, which I thought was actually really nice. We got Sarah Lance hanging out with Team Arrow at the end of their finale last week. And then we got Wally joining up with his original family, the Team Flash. So that was actually, at least it was a happier reunion. Something I was surprised about, because Barry does mention Oliver and Kara if he should go and call them for help instead of the mechanic. I'm surprised they didn't mention, not even a little throwaway line, that what happened to Oliver. I really did think that since the finale of Arrow was last week, I really thought somehow that would have sneaked its way into this episode, like at least a mention of it or something, or them watching it on the news. I thought that was something big that would affect the Arrowverse big next season. Especially since in the beginning of this season, they were like making references to Arrow in like the first 5 or 6 episodes. So you'd think that they would, throw in a reference on the news or something that Oliver's having trouble. It was something they kind of did back in the Flash's early seasons. Their second last episode, they had Oliver drop by teaming up with Firestorm to take down Reverse Flash. And then on Arrow's finale, The following day, they had Flash pop over for a brief minute to help them out with their situation. So I thought, not a cameo from Stephen Amell, but I did think that they were going to reference him going to prison in some way. But they didn't. It's not a big deal. Maybe they'll reference it in the beginning of next season, seeing their thoughts on it. They have to at some point, right? Like before the big crossover event. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe they'll just let it go. Anything else I liked? I guess that's about it. Like I said, I'm glad this DeVoe storyline is done and over with. I did like the little end, the tag at the end. Well, before they wrapped up, we had the mysterious girl, coming into the house and introducing herself awkwardly. And they all remember her from all the places that they ran into her, including the wedding. And she admits, as many have speculated, she is Barry and Iris's daughter, which is funny because it came after a funny little moment where Iris mentioned having kids to Barry, and Barry was like, so awkward. I actually thought it was played really funny between the two. Oh, and the Star Trek reference, I laughed my ass off when Harry and Cisco were quoting Wrath of Khan. And then Iris says, Star Wars. And Barry looks at her like, no. Like getting the two franchises mixed up. Like that's typical. I know people who've mixed up both Star Trek and Star Wars, don't know the difference between the two. There is a big difference. So yeah, it was a fine little finale. Not the best season finale. I think they've had better finales than this. Even last season, I thought was maybe a little bit better than this one. But I think it gave us a nice little tease for next season. I wouldn't call this a bad episode, but for a season finale, I was expecting so much more. I'll admit that. As for the season as a whole, I think season 4 of The Flash is the worst season of the show. It's definitely down there for me with Arrow season 3 maybe. Not Arrow season 4, so it wasn't that bad, but it borderline, I would say. I was pretty disappointed with the season overall. I'm hoping season 5, especially since they're reaching their 100th episode, that they'll find the energy to bring themselves back up, especially with this whole daughter situation. I'm curious on where they're going to go with that. They didn't really give us a clue to who the villain is, unless you count Caitlyn's flashback to her father, that she had powers. She was Killer Frost back when she was a kid. So some people are speculating that maybe Caitlyn's father might be the next villain of next season. It would be much better than a villain. Anything is better than DeVoe by this point, I feel. So yes, definitely looking forward to next season and how they're going to incorporate all the characters into the storyline, because some of the characters felt a little underused this season. Like Harry, I felt like was underused in the beginning, but then they gave him this dumb storyline halfway through. I felt Joe was the most underused. We didn't get too many Barry and Joe moments, which kind of made me sad because I really love those moments in the earlier seasons. Hopefully we get a little bit more of that next year. And just give me a better villain than what we got and a better plan that's better executed. Make the season much more fun. And look, if you're going to do filler episodes, give us a good filler episode. Don't give us the filler episode that feels like it's wasting our time, that we could have skipped. Give us a cool, fun, exciting one. Don't go over the top with the comedy like you did this season. And look, I hope Flash will be much better next year or next season than it is this season. That's all I have to ask. And with that being said, guys, I hope you leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Start a discussion about this. And yeah, I guess that's it. Look, next season, I don't know 100% if I'm going to be continuing episode reviews, and that I don't love the Flash. I love Flash. I love Arrow. I love all those shows. But I'm trying to form a new strategy on what I'm doing with my videos. So, I don't know. Comment below on that, too, if you guys want me to continue doing episode reviews of both Flash and Arrow. Unless you don't care, then don't say anything. But, yeah. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see what happens next year. If I don't do episode reviews, I'll still find videos to do about the Arrowverse shows, because I do like these shows, and I do want to talk about them and do videos centered on them. But if it's not like episode reviews, maybe it will be like specific things that happen in certain episodes. Maybe not every episode, but like, news. Maybe once in a while I'll do a review on a big episode, like the crossover episodes I have to talk about. But anyways, until then, take care.